Hello, happy Sunday, and welcome to my weekly this list video. I will be doing videos on Sunday evening now because I now have a normal work schedule, so I have Saturdays and Sundays off, so it just kind of makes sense for me to record the video Sunday night. So the first game I'm going to talk about this week is the game I streamed this week, which was Iron Brigade. And I drew the trench. So yes, trench, but it's really Iron Brigade. I'm also doing something a little new this week. I made little post-it cards with little notes, so I can just kind of try to remember some of the things I want to say. But this game has this it's kind of a World Wars aesthetic. It's not really World War One. It's not really World War Two. It's kind of a mixture of the two. The game has three areas. It's Europe, Africa, and Asia. So it's not the largest game. I think each area has maybe six scenarios. So I feel like there's probably fewer than 20 in the entire game. It definitely took me fewer than 10 hours. I would estimate probably closer to 7 or 8 hours to beat the game. Um, I it's interesting because it doesn't really feel like a Double Fine game in the sense that it feels more like there's a stronger emphasis on gameplay rather than that Double Fine story. You do see little glimpses of the Double Fine in the game. Specifically in between load screens, there will be these magazine covers, and if you read the magazine covers, quite a few of them are very clever, and that's where you kind of see the Double Fine cleverness come through. But this game is more about the gameplay, and the gameplay is it's a mech builder. The mechs, their lower half and upper half. The upper half you can have up to three. You can have guns on either your left trigger and right trigger. So but then also you have legs, and your legs can have different abilities as well. And then there's different types of mechs. Some allow you to have more guns on your mech, and then others are more heavy on having various turrets that you can have scattered around the map that will help you defend rather than more of an emphasis on you. Typically, what I found is if I struggled on a map with one build, I would switch over to the other type of build and I would be able to get through it. Um, it has very light RPG elements. There is a leveling up system where then you're able to get money, and then you can kind of use that money to buy things in the shop. Unfortunately, the shop is very limited in what it gets, and you ultimately have to rely on loot drops to get decent loot once you kind of get going into the game. I guess that is another element. It is a strong loot there's a strong loot element to the game as well. So it's neat. It's a tight experience. It's fun. I ultimately gave it an 8. I think it's a solid, just a solid, good experience. I enjoyed it. It played well, and there was just something about setting up the turrets, and just when it really went well, it was very satisfying. The next game I want to talk about is FIFA Soccer 10, which I believe the World Cup just ended earlier today, so it's timely that I'm talking about this game. I think for me, the most interesting aspect of this game is just kind of getting into and learning some of the terminology of soccer. Like they call the field the pitch. Uh, I also was just so interested in the point system. If and as weird as that sounds, is I've always been a hockey fan, and I always thought hockey was the only sport that did the weird point system. Everybody else just kind of did wins and losses. So I just kind of was like, oh, here's another sport that does the point system, and it's the most popular sport in the league, and all I hear from people is how complicated and confusing the point system is, and it's Well, soccer does it, and soccer is the most popular sport in the league, or football, but you know what I mean. But I also, I guess, kind of getting into my experience with the game. I played the Be a Pro mode. I played through a season. I started as a right winger, and the first couple of games I kind of struggled. I didn't really I didn't score. I didn't score for a few games. I really just kind of struggled to kind of get the feel of the game. I think I was kind of following kind of because the game kind of tells you where you should be standing. I think I was kind of following the game a little bit too much. And as I kind of got a better feel for the game, I did get a better feel for kind of I liked with soccer there's just so many more people in the field, or the pitch I should say, that I kind of liked getting lost in the offensive zone and then just kind of being able to find the ball and then just kind of put it in. I found that was one of my better strengths. That, or get the ball and then just sprint forward with the ball and then kick the ball as I'm sprinting and hope it goes in the net. Those were kind of my two main ways of scoring in the offensive zone, and that strategy seemed to work well. Initially, I started out on the easiest difficulty, and like I said, I didn't score for a couple games, and then I was all of a sudden scoring like a hat trick almost every single game, and I was like, okay, this is getting a little unrealistic. So then I switched it to the next difficulty up, and then at that point, I definitely did struggle more. I had some games where I not only was I shut out, like the defense shut me out. Like I couldn't even get any shots on net. I couldn't get close to the net. But then there were other games where I would get a couple goals. So I found that difficulty. I still probably was scoring on a slightly unrealistic rate, but it was a little bit more realistic. And then the next difficulty above that, like I was getting some chances, but I just couldn't. I could never beat the goalie at that point. So I don't know. Um, I, ultimately, this game is kind of okay. It's good, but it's just kind of okay. It didn't blow me away. I feel like unless you're a really big fan of football or soccer, this game probably isn't for you. I just realized my microphone wasn't super close to me, so I just moved it closer and now the sound is probably better. But I'm not gonna re-record this. Sorry. Um, okay, because I actually like the way it's going. I like how I'm talking, and that's kind of the point of this video, is just for me to get better at talking about video games and just kind of talking about what I like or what I'm doing, not necessarily what I like, because the next game I'm going to be talking about is Pirates. Hunt for Blackbeard's Booty. And let me tell you, guys, I already talked about it last week, how it's a minigame collection. And it continued to be a shitty minigame collection. Every time I sat down to play video games, I was like, I do not want to play this. This was like the last thing I wanted to play. And it just kind of got to a point where I had already finished Iron Brigade. I finished through the first season of FIFA. I kind of played through quite a bit of Darksiders. I guess now I have to play Pirates. So I sat down and played Pirates one night, and I played through all the mini games. I finished in last in most of them. I didn't really like any of them. Like any of them. Except there was one that was basically croquet. And I don't know why, but I got really into the croquet. I really like croquet. It's like fun. Like I played it. I remember playing it as a kid. But like, yeah, I really liked playing the croquet in this game. I still finished third. I didn't go do particularly well. The AI just kept kind of running into me and then just shooting me far away, and I just couldn't. I could just never get caught up. But it was still fun. I had fun playing the croquet. Um, so unexpected fun croquet in a Pirates video game. Who, I don't know. Video games are weird sometimes, especially like shitty shovelware. So yeah, this game's bad. This game is bad. I'm giving it a 1, by the way. It is it's the worst. It is the worst. Oh, also load times. Holy fuck, load times. Oh my every mini game takes way too long to load into, and it's so shitty. It's oh my god, it's shockingly bad. Oh, just dropped my card here. The next game I would like to talk about is Darksiders. I do like how the cover is very shiny. That's all I have to say about that. It's the cover shiny, and I like that. I think I've talked about it last week, how it's just basically homage to God of War and Zelda. I feel like as the game goes on, it becomes less God of War and becomes way more Zelda. Like I just feel like there's just more and more dungeons as the game goes along. But then also like you literally fight like a shadow version of yourself at one point. So but then also like one of the last dungeons in the game, it you get a portal gun and it's just Portal. Which by the way, I wasn't a huge fan of. I feel like it went on for longer than I would have liked. Like probably an hour longer than I would have liked. But anyway, also then the final boss was so easy. I beat it with like plenty of health left in on my first try. So I don't know. Didn't that was not my favorite dungeon. But also like Mark Hamill's doing the Joker voice. Um I just finished, in case you have played this game before, I had just like as I just paused the game to started recording this. I just collected all the fragments of the weapon. I just talked to Ulthane, and I'm just heading to go talk to Ezreal, which I mean, I assume means I'm gonna end up fighting him. I assume it's a boss battle coming up, so but I'm definitely getting towards the end of Darksiders. I was hoping to finish it up tonight, but it just keeps kind of going. I'm not complaining, but it is kind of going. Like I thought it was gonna end a couple hours ago, maybe an hour ago, but it feels like maybe there's another hour. I have no idea. It felt like it was gonna wrap up a while ago, and it hasn't. So and then lastly, after I finished FIFA, I had room for the Xbox 360. So the next game I decided to start playing was Rock Band because I really should get a music game on the list here. Because there's a lot of them. This is one that I have played through to completion, so I don't have to do that again. So this is just like a good warm up for me to get back into it. A couple years ago, I when I did play this or replayed this, I got stuck on Molly Hatchet. I can't even Molly Hatchet. Yeah, I can't even. I don't. All I remember is just Molly Hatchet is the song. It was weeks, maybe even a month. I would come home every day and just try it 3 or 4 times, and I couldn't try it more than that because it was so hard and like it just hurts my pinky, my left handed pinky, which my left hand on last night when I was playing it was starting to hurt. I guess just like in my normal everyday life, I don't use my pinky on my left hand very much. So Rock Band comes along and my pinky's just like, whoa, I can only take a few songs of this. But like I eventually did beat it a couple years ago, Molly Hatchet, and I just felt so satisfied. I basically just kind of stopped playing the game. I've now realized that I haven't unlocked all of the bonus songs, so they're kind of like all the local bands that are in Boston. There are a number of bands that I think like also work at the studio Harmonix that so they were able to get a song into their game. But anyway, I haven't unlocked all of those songs. So I unlocked like I think maybe 3 or 4 last night on hard, and I have I think 5 or 6 more to unlock. So I'm gonna unlock those just kind of continue to play a few more songs, just kind of mess around with it a little bit. And then I'm probably going to call it just because I've already played it. I just kind of wanted to get a warm up. I wanted to kind of remind myself, but also like Rock Band 1 doesn't have a great like single player experience. The experience is you just kind of play all the games on any of the difficulties. None of them stack, so like I've played all of the songs on hard, and that means haven't played or I haven't completed a single song on easy, which I am not going to play the songs on easy. Um, Also, you can't really do anything on bass. There's no bass single player element, and if you want to do the campaign, you need to have a band, which is more than one. And since I'm doing like single player stuff, sometimes I do play the guitar and sing at the same time, but like I usually like to be playing the game for a bit. Like I haven't played this game for a couple years, so I'm definitely not going to do that. So I don't think I'm going to play this game a ton. I'll just kind of play it sometimes throughout the week, probably, 4 or 5 songs every day this week. Um and then I'll end up ranking it next week. So, um, with that, I might as well get into the next part of the video, which is where I will be where I'm going through the my list. So I just need to pull that up, and as you can see, at number 48. I have Pirates: The Hunt for Blackbeard's Booty. It is the worst. It is terrible. I did not like it. It is the worst game I have played so far. Also, it came out in 2008, which is the year I graduated. Just notable. I'm old. Other than that, I've enjoyed the games I've played. So FIFA Soccer 10, I'm giving it a 7. Flawed but interesting. Um, like I said, it's good. It's okay. I did find myself like at some points enjoying it. I was kind of getting ready. I was getting excited for the playoffs, and then I found out soccer doesn't have playoffs, and I just kind of felt like, oh, that's a massive disappointment. That's not really the game's fault, but still, I am kind of like, oh, that's disappointing. I ended up putting that 25th between Shadow of Mordor and Burnout Revenge. Uh, Darksiders, I'm giving it a 7.5. I think it's good but inconsistent. There are parts where I've just kind of found myself getting a little bit frustrated, but then also enjoying other parts. But like I do think there are just some inconsistencies, and I do think the game has been dragging a bit towards the end, and I'm not in love with the fact that the game has had a lot of backtracking towards the end of the game. So it's just kind of like it like I said, it's just kind of a dragging. So if it continues to stay like it has been, I'm going to be giving it a 7.5, and it's going to be locked in at number 20 between Project Gotham Racing 3 and Call of Duty 2. This one I'm still playing, so I will have to officially lock it in next week. The next game, Iron Brigade, I did finish, so this is locked in. It's going to get locked in at number 16. I also gave it an 8. I already said I did earlier in the video, so I'm locking this at number 16 between Dragon's Crown and MLB The Show. And then Rock Band, as of right now, I'm thinking this game's going to get an 8, and it's good. This is a tough one because I do think this is a great game. It should be considered a quote-unquote game of the generation. But at the same time, like I just feel like the single-player elements are going to bring it down, and I do think the game's predecessors, bring a little bit more to the table. But at the same time, this game does have a great, like, it does have a great set playlist. So, but like I'm thinking it's going to end up getting around an 8. So I'm thinking it's going to be around 14th between Dirt 2 and Dragon's Crown. But I'll lock that in a little bit better as I play through it. Maybe as I play through it and I remember how great Rock Band is, I will end up just kind of giving it an 8.5 or a 9. But I just don't think I can call this game a game of the generation just because of um, how limited the single player is. But with that, that is okay. But with that, that is the end of the video. So I want to thank you for watching, and I will catch you guys next week. Also, my streaming schedule has changed. I meant to talk about this. It's going to be very simple now. I will be streaming Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays. I will be streaming 9 to 11, and that's it. I will be doing the list videos on Sundays, and then I have the bracket videos that I've been doing. I will be doing those on the last Saturday of every month. So that should be, is that next week? That will be, no, next week, next Saturday, the 25th. So I guess that's what I have coming up this week is Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. I will be streaming. I will be doing a bracket video, and then I will be doing the list video. So I want to thank you for watching, and I'll catch you guys next week, or tomorrow, or Tuesday.